Golf is a big ass mystery to most of us, but I'm going to simplify this game down from every shot you may have on the golf course. Now gangbanger, we have one simple rule we use throughout every situation, regardless of the thought process. The number one rule we rely on is hit the shot you can hit 9 times out of 10 in that situation. Now keep that 9 out of 10 idea in your mind as we run through every type of shot on a golf course. On the tee box you have 3 options. The first option, can we hit a golf ball to a desired approach distance from the tee? We're thinking back from the hole, what would we like into the green? If you do not have that skill level to be able to pump a ball to whatever distance you like, the next best thing you can do is hit the longest ball possible that's not going to get you into a hazard, a fairway bunker, or out of bounds. You need to have a second shot remaining. The bunkers are the worst. Out of bounds, you lose a ball, and a water hazard, you lose a ball and have to take a drop. Those are the big reasons you're losing shots. So then if you can't do that, hit a long ass ball, then last resort is to hit whatever shot is most comfortable. Out of all 3 of those, you pick the one you can do 9 times out of 10. So I want to set up a distance into this hole of just about 140, 130 yards. That means I have to hit a 9 wood. I can hit that shot because I have the supreme skill and I am the Kim Jong-un of golf. Of course, I didn't click record on the first shot, and this is option 1. Hit to a distance you want into the green. That's a beauty. If you're feeling really bad on that day, sometimes all you have to do is just get a ball in play, option 3. 1 ball in play is worth 2 in the bush. So I'm going to hit a 7-iron down here. Sometimes it's a 7, sometimes it's an 8, sometimes it's a fairway or a hybrid. That's what's going to get you in play just to continue the hole. So I'll hit a 7-iron down there just to get the ball in play. And now we can continue playing the hole instead of getting tense and hitting the ball all over the show, losing golf balls. On approach shots, we take the 9 out of 10 rule, we apply it again. 180 yards, 9 times out of 10 are you going to hit this green with a beautiful hybrid, with water on the right, big space left. No, no, no. That's a 1 out of 20 shot. The rest of the time, we're going to destroy ourselves here. What we do on approach is find the area we can miss on a shot we're not really confidential with. So on this hole, we have a big ass space on the left. We call that Texas. Now in Texas, they play football. They have field goal posts. We take the field goals and we move them to positions we find acceptable. I'm going to place a line on the screen now to the left of the hole, taking the water out of play, all the way to the right side of where we can land this ball and be in an acceptable position to reduce the big numbers. How do we get the ball to land inside those field goals to score the field goal? We take into account our shot shape. If you hit a fader, you're going to have to set it up on the left side. By set it up on the left side, I mean you're going to have to find an aiming point, a straight line aiming point, as if you're going to hit the ball well left and allow that fade to come back into your field goal range. If you hit a draw, you're going to have to find an aiming point right of your target to make it come into the field goal range. It can be a tree, it can be a house, it can be a bunker, it can be a sign, but something that takes into account your shot shape. So if you fade, if you draw, you're going to have to hit the ball out right with a draw, let it come in, out left with a fade, let it come into your field goal range. The reason we go to Texas here is because if we take the shot on from 180, if we do not have the skill level, we dump it in the water and we leave ourselves big numbers. Approach shot is always play to Texas, land it in your field goals. Set your field goals and see, how do I get the ball to my field goal? I'm going to hit a 140-yard shot because 9 times out of 10 I'm going to pull the shot off into my field goals to the left of the hole. Let's do it. And that's perfectly within my field goal range. And from there I have a pitch up the green. We're planning our way around the golf course, playing to Texas, the field goals, Texas Rangers. Great football team. Okay, needle mover, now we have put the ball in a position we wanted to. And we got to 128 yards here. 128 yards is in striking distance. When you have a position to attack, you have to take advantage of the attack. All of these concepts are the same for everybody. Scoring is about doing all these things. The only thing that changes is your skill level. The ability to hit a shot shape you can rely on, hit it out the center of the club face, less dispersion left and right. That's why some shots we aim away from the target, and now when we have the ability and the comfortable shot, the confidential shot, we can attack slightly more. It's all very nuanced. So As you get better, you'll be able to change your strategy and go for different shots. Over here, 128, we have a pretty much a green light shot straight at the hole here. We're going to move our goalposts here because this is a pretty straight shot for me. I don't hit too much shape on these wedges, but we're going to err toward the left side because we have more space on the left, the fatty boom boom side. On the fatty boom boom side, we're going to set a goalpost onto the tree just to the right of the left edge, and we're going to set a goalpost onto the pin. I want to land the ball in there. If I miss those goalposts, they're pretty narrow, not too bad. So I still use the goalposts, I just narrow them because my skill level is a bit higher. I have higher loft which veers off the course right and left much less. So we're going to get this bad boy right near the cup. How do you pick the correct club for the approach shot? We have a back edge, we have the middle of the green, and we have the front edge. The very best strike with that club should not go past the back edge. Your normal strike should reach the middle of the green, and a very poor strike should reach the front edge of the green. That's how you pick your shot. But if you have trouble short of the green, you want to make sure you finish middle of the green or longer. If you have trouble over the green, you want to make sure you finish middle of the green or front edge. If you are surrounded by water, good luck. This shot is 75 to 80 yards. I'm going to use a pitching wedge with a 50% swing. All you want is a 50% swing on every one of these distances. I'm going to show you 50 yards and I'm going to show you 35 yards where we actually left the golf ball. So we take a 50% swing with a pitching wedge, and that 50% swing is going to go about 75 yards. And if we practice this and get this one swing right, we just change the loft as we get closer to the hole or further from the hole, and we're going to hit different distances without having to think about how long our swing is. We use one swing. It's very simple. And that's about 75 to about 80 yard shot that we can rely on. Then we go to 55 and we increase the loft. We're at 55 yards, so we increase the loft. We've gone from a pitching wedge to a 52 degree. It's got about 7 or 8 degrees more loft. Same swing, 50%er. And remember with these, we still want to rotate through and get our titties to the target. Titties to the target. Nice half a swing. And that one's about a 60 yard shot. So you have to dial in your distances based on the distance you hit these half swings, and then you can use them for a range of distance instead of just one specific distance. Nice. Oh, nearly in the hole. From 35 yards, we may use a 56 degree. Hey, same swing. Look how nice that is. So much consistency, so simple. Now you may look at this kind of golf and think, well, it's not PGA Tour style. You know, it's very conservative and it's not going to be attacking. Well, if it's boring, you must hate scoring, because this is how you score as an amateur golfer. Nice half shot, and we put ourselves in position to make a putt. Remember, on your pitch shots and your chip shots, get it on the green. G-I-O-T-G, Italian word, giottighe, get it on the green. It's a very simple phrase, but it stops you getting greedy and just gets you a putt which you can make. You're not going to hole a second chip. Not going to happen. With all shots, you want to know your shot shape. That way you can create your field goals and how you're going to get through the field goal with your 9 out of 10 shot. On this hole, we have very wide field goals, but I want to narrow them. If they're too wide, you don't care where the ball goes and you actually hit it wider, missing 100 yard wide fairways. We have about 50 or 60 yards up there, and I'm going to put my field goals between the two big ass trees there, and that's how I'm going to get the ball there. And I'm expecting a baby fader, but I'm going to put it straight down the center of that field goal with my mini driver, my go-to club 9 out of 10 shot. To make aiming simple, especially on the tee, because there's so much in your way that can go wrong, get your mind off the minefield in front of you. To align, you want to find something down your target line or your starting line, because you remember you have to take into account your shot shape. So find something down your starting line far in the distance you can't reach, like 500, 600 yards away, even kilometers away if it's a mountain. And pick a tiny spot on there to hit the ball to. Then on your shot, when you want to align your club face, find something along that line in front of your ball, a foot or two, to line your club face up to. So your club face is lined up to the thing in front of the ball, and then your brain is lined up to the target way in the distance that you can't reach, making all this nonsense in front of you leave your brain. That's the simplest way to do it, and the best way I've found. And that's just a bit left of my field goal, but because I narrowed my field goal down a bit, we're going to be absolutely money. Now we have the 7 wood, the absolute money club, 9 out of 10 shot that we're going to pull off. And you have to pick your 9 out of 10 shot to get that ball in play beautiful. I recommend 7 woods to everybody I meet. Okay, sugar daddies, this is where the rangefinder really helps you. This is the REDTIGER, less than 120 bucks. You won't get better value for money on the market yet. Check the link in the description. Brilliant. We've given ourselves about 250 yards to the hole here. We are not going to reach 250. No one hits a fairway shot from 250 anywhere on or near the green. Maybe 2% of this golfing population. So let's not take on that shot. We have water in front of us. We have trees on the right. We have bunkers that will leave us 50, 60, 70 yard bunker shots, which are impossible for most of us to hit. And we have water in front of us. To carry that water, we need to hit the ball 167. Minimum. Can you hit a ball 170? Guaranteed 9 times out of 10? Maybe not. So we have to move our focus more toward the left side where we have a clearing. The best we can hit down there is 135 to 140, leaving us probably about 130, maybe 120 into the green, probably looking at 140. That is going to give you a better shot at staying dry, staying in the game, rather than taking a drop and losing another golf ball by trying to squeeze out 20 or 30 yards at the top range of your bag. You can hit your top range of your bag when it's a comfortable shot, 9 times out of 10, going to put you in a good position. And that's how you play for position instead of playing for hero shots. Because in amateur golf, there are no hero shots, only stupid shots. When we're in a range, we can attack and we have a lot of skill. We can go for these shots instead of just laying up. We have not much in the way of danger here compared to a longer approach. We've got 182 here. And 182 for me is a beautiful little 8 or 7 iron. If I were 220 yards away, I'd have to weigh up 9 times out of 10 if I could hit that 7 wood or 9 wood on the green. If I see that it's going to cause more trouble, I have to take the 9 out of 10 shot and play it to a safe distance for pitching or down here for another shot. And that's just a money shot. Never going to get over the green, always going to reach the front, good strike, middle to back of the green. Perfect. Okay, granny killers, now we have the chip shot. The chip shot is simplest when we use toe down chipping. Put the club down flat, move closer to the ball, pick the handle up like a putt, use your putting grip. I use the reverse overlap, and then take a putting stroke, trying to hit the ball off the toe of the club. This removes all the bounce, removes the heel from digging in, and you add a little extra loft, just clipping the ball off the toe of the club. Toe down chipping, absolutely maniski. When we miss on the fat side, which I've told you to do, you have a lot of options. You can do anything. You can putt, you can use a hybrid, a fairway wood, you can freaking put a 60 degree there if you want to. I think it's the least reliable. The simplest way is the toe down chip. This is a 7 iron because we can land it on the green and roll out maybe 18 yards. The more green you have, the more rollout you can do, and you have to read it like a putt. You go to the green and you practice the rule of 12. The video is linked in the description. It's going to help you to understand exactly how this works. You're going to have to adapt it for your course, but here we go. Toe down chipping, about 1.5 yards onto the green, just like that. Now that's going to take it like a putt and start moving it just slightly left, and I'm going to leave myself about a 3.5 footer for the passkey, and that's perfect. If you make that inside 3 feet, you're absolutely money. We're going to talk about putting in a second. One more. Just for fun skis, I just love toe down chipping. It's all I use now, even as a very low handicap golfer. It takes all the nonsense out of chipping. Look at that, I put it to a foot. Easy game. As you get long carry with long rollout, short carry with short rollout, you have to increase the loft. I don't know if this is the correct one. I'm just going to show you the same thing with a 9 iron. It could be a pitching wedge, could be a 52 degree. And that's going to work about the same, maybe the wrong club, just lips out, but it's gone too far past, so I've used the wrong club. Probably a 52 degree or a 56 degree toe down chip here for the scenario. Work that out. Toe down chipping is the simplest way to chip, bar none, absolutely money. Let's simplify fairway bunkers for you. Fairway bunkers, you have to take one more club. So if you normally hit an 8-iron from that distance, you should take a 7-iron. It produces a little bit more spin. For some reason, you always end up 1 club or 2 clubs shorter than normal. With that in mind, you want to also take into account the lip. Can the trajectory of your shot clear the lip in front of you? If it can't, you have to go even higher loft, whatever's going to clear the lip. So whether that distance to the pin is 150 yards or 100 yards, if you can't clear the lip, you're going to have to play a little bit shorter. If you can clear the lip and you got the correct club, there's a little technique I've always used since I was a kid. After learning to hit golf balls on the beach, don't dig your feet in, because now you're getting below the ball. You're creating a situation where the ball's above your feet. We don't want that. We want it level. You set up like a normal shot, and just before you hit, you can just lift your chin a little bit. It's going to just increase the low point of your swing, so that instead of catching it a little fat and staying in the bunker, you catch it thin at the worst, making sure you get out the bunker. So I like to just hit a normal shot. Here's my 8-iron. Going to clear this lip for shower, and just lift my chin a little bit. And that's one of my favorite shots, because this is how I learned to hit the ball crispy on the beach. The big problem people want to do is they want to get as far as they can out of here without taking into account the bunker lip. Now this is my 4-iron, and I may get out of here because I do like fairway bunkers. But you'll very often find too low loft is going to get you in real trouble staying in the bunker. Like that. And you have to be sure that the loft on your club is enough to just clear that lip. And that's going to save you so many shots, instead of now having to hit it again closer to the lip, having to hit higher loft, leaving yourself an even longer shot, +1. Let's simplify bunker shots. There's a misconception in bunker shots. You don't actually contact the ball. You don't chip it. You don't touch the golf ball. The golf ball comes out on a bed of sand as your club slips underneath the turf, picks up a whole bunch with a ball on top of it, and plops it out. You don't touch the golf ball. You don't chip it out. There's a imaginary 1-inch line behind the ball. You open your club face up. This is the best way. You grab the club while the club face is open. Don't twist it open with your hands. You just let it rest open. Grab it like that. You come stand behind the ball. You play it off your front heel or front toe. You try contact the sand 1 inch behind the ball with the sole of the club. It's like you're slapping the sole of the club with your right hand on the bottom of the sand. Like that, so it skims. You can practice this in a practice bunker without a golf ball. You hear that sound? That's what you want to practice hearing. Then put a ball in the way. The most important thing here is to make sure we get through the sand and we don't stop. Because as soon as you get steep and stop, that's when it doesn't come out. So we go 1 inch behind the ball, just like that. Now that's an absolute money shot right there. And then the big thing people will do is they'll hit like one shot with a chip and it'll get it close, and then they'll think that's it. They'll screw up the other 9 out of 10 and think, well, this doesn't work, chipping is better. But you've screwed up 9 out of 10 of them, but the 1 out of 10 is what makes you convince yourself that you don't need proper bunker technique. This here can save you so many shots. And remember, when you hit the shot, most of your weight is on the left side. We're thinking like 70%. We don't want to fall back, because that's when you try add loft and you hit it way too fat, like 6 inches behind the ball, and keep it in the sand. We want to be on our left side, open that club face up, ball on our front toe. Boom, what a man. I think I hold it. Oof. You're not hitting the ball, you're hitting the sand, weight on the left side, open the club face, get through the sand, beautiful days. Don't fall back. Let me just change your freaking life right now, because sometimes you're going to get short-sighted. When the pin is cut close to this edge of the green and you've put it over a bunker and the pin is too close to this edge to get it close, just get it on the green. Whenever you are in doubt, REDTIGER, 9 times out of 10 shot, REDTIGER. And often that can mean looking elsewhere, looking to the left, looking to the right, wherever there's going to be space for you to have a putt. If I look to the left there, we have a bit of rollout to the back of the green. And if I don't have confidentiality, like in this ball sitting down, I need to go somewhere where I'm sure I'm going to hit the green and not dump it in the bunker or leave it short of the green on the short side again, with leaving another difficult chip. So even from the short side, we try to get it to the fat side. So we get to the fatty boom boom side of this green, have to be nice and assertive. REDTIGER, young Joe. So over there, I've hit it to the fat side of the green, and we're on. I didn't go at the pin. I didn't take something on that I didn't know I could do 9 times out of 10 because of the lie. When the ball's sitting up like this, maybe I feel a bit better. Maybe you have a nice shot you like to hit. You can go at the hole, but understand that if you don't have enough space to roll out, you're going to end up missing the green again. So you always want to err toward the fat side, depending on skill level. If your skill level improves, you can do what you like. And then that one's gone closer to the hole. I'm just on the front. That's the best way to do it. But the number one way to avoid a difficult shot like this is to avoid the short side completely by aiming more toward the fat side where miss would be easier to get on the green. Short side, play back to the fat side. Get it on the green, gear to gear, make a putt. Bang and sluts. In putting, there are 2 types of putts and 2 variables on all putts. We have long putts and we have short putts inside 5 feet. Inside 5 feet is the most significant putt you can get good at because that's where your bunker shots, chip shots, pitch shots and first putts finish in the 5-foot area. If you can make 80% of your 5-footers, you're absolutely money. How do you do it? Practice 1-foot putts. 1 foot, 2-foot putts only. That's a 100% make rate. You build confidentiality by the ball hitting the bottom of the cup, you hear it. You get used to hitting a ball on a line. So if you can hit a 2-footer, you can hit a 40-footer. The only thing you need for a 40-footer is better distance control. In a putt, you have line and you have speed. Once you work on getting the line right by hitting a 1-footer and 2-footer by seeing that dead straight line, you go back and you hit to a tee in the ground. Don't hit long putts to a hole. You're going to miss all of them and practice missing. Put a tee peg in the ground and putt to the tee peg. So let's say I was practicing. Please just imagine it, okay? There's no hole. I'm going to put a tee there. That's what I'm going to finish the ball at. So let's imagine on the practice green, my tee was over there. And then luckily the hole's getting in the way on this hole. My most important thing for that is to get distance control. When you can control your distance, you're going to leave yourself 1 foot, 2-foot putts either side of the hole, or maybe just a little short, just a little long. That's going to stop you having 5-footers, 8-footers for your second putt. If you get it inside that 3-foot circle, you're basically 100% if you practice. But start with a tiny target, not the big target. A lot of people are trying to get it inside a 3-foot lid. If you try to get it in a 3-foot lid and you miss your 3-foot lid, you're now 5 foot from the hole. Try hit the tee peg. If you miss your tee peg, you're 2 foot away. That's how we get distance control. So you get your line, you get your distance control, and then you combine it when you putt by understanding that the line you see is put together with the speed that you imagine. You have to recalibrate and get them matching to putt better. It takes a lot of practice. So here I see right to left, and I just look at that orange tee, and I want to stop this close to that orange tee. Hey, look at that. I missed my tee by a foot, but my distance control was great. And now I've got a foot, 2 feet for the tap-in birdie. And we've been practicing those for so long that we're just automatic with them. That's how you simplify putting. The line matches the speed in your head. You need to calibrate those 2 things by practicing getting your distance control correct and picking the correct line. When you have a line, you don't aim at the hole. You aim to start the ball on the line and let the break take it to the hole. When you have distance control, it stops near the hole. When you do short putts, you're automatic inside 3 feet, meaning less 3 putts, lower score. We lower our score by removing penalty shots, 3 putts, double chips, and screw-ups inside wedge range. And that's how I simplified the game for you. You can send me a check, or you can watch this video over here. Get over to waterplayergolf.com, purchase some fine drip. Oh my goodness. Who let the dogs out? Who? Oh, before I go, one more quick tip. Use cheap golf balls. The cheaper your golf ball, the less you care about losing them, the less you lose. The more you care about losing expensive golf balls, the more you lose. The fear creates the shots. Get the fear away by playing cheaper golf balls. You don't need the urethane ones anyway. Believe me, they make no difference. Just plan for more rollout on your chips. Bam.